Good evening and welcome to FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins.
And I'm student meteorologist Sammy Squires.
And it was actually a great way to end the day today. We have nice clear skies, however it is a little bit chillier across the region.
I mean, we did have that rain that moved through early this morning, but it resulted in a beautiful day, and I think we're going to have a beautiful sunset as well.
Yeah, we ended out the day, we actually started off the day with that rain like you were saying. It was kind of a rude wake up in a way. You know, I woke up, I'm like walking outside, I have like a rain jacket on, I'm like, I'm cold.
Yes, with the cold temperatures, it definitely made it feel even more cold than it actually was.
Yeah, no, but overall, I mean, as it cleared out throughout most of the day, I mean, the clouds cleared out and we were ending it out very, very nice.
Yeah.
The cooler temperatures. It feels a little bit more like winter, actually, across the area.
We are colder than average right now, and we're expecting similar conditions for the next few days, I would say.
Yes, we actually have not a lot of rain chances happening for the next few days. The next one will happen going into the weekend. So if you do have any outdoor plans for the weekend, you might want to take that into consideration. But for the rest of the week, it should be very, very comfortable.
Yeah, especially with the cooler temperatures and the dew point very low.
But heading into tonight, we actually have a freeze warning in effect for the region of the Big Bend area, as well as across most of the Gulf Coast states.
And we'll talk about that more in the show. But for us now, it was a beautiful day, and AJ is going to give us another look at the overview.
And we're back here at the desk. We have a little bit of some mic issues happening with AJ's mic. But yeah, so we actually have, like AJ was going to talk about in the overview, cool temperatures across the area are currently in the 50s right now. So ending out the day with that sunset across the region, it is feeling quite nice ending out the day.
We hit a high of around 56 today, so we definitely warmed up throughout the day, and we're expecting tomorrow to even start off cool with that freeze warning.
Yeah, we're going to send things back over to AJ. I think his mic's finally working again. We're back!
You miss us?
Yeah, so we have a little bit of some mic issues outside, but you know, as we get on to the other areas, AJ was going to talk about rain chances heading into the rest of this week. It's we're not actually going to have a lot of rain chances. It's supposed to be fairly dry throughout the next few days because a high pressure has moved into the area. Yeah.
Oh, looking at our almanac, we did hit a high of around 56 degrees, and that average is 72 degrees, so we are well below the average right now.
And we're below average in the low temperatures as well. Waking up today, it hit the low of around 39 degrees, well below, just below the 40-degree mark, so we are below average for those areas, but nothing near those record temperatures.
Yeah, and with that rain early in the morning, it definitely made it very chilly outside, but for the next few days, though, we are expecting no rain, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Up until the weekend, like you were saying.
But we're actually going to send things out to the wall with me. I'm going to give a local look at what's happening across the region. If we can send things out over to the wall at this point. I know if we, looking at the almanac across the area, it is feeling fairly nice. We woke up to that temperature around 39 degrees, 72 degrees for 72 degrees is the average for this time of the year, but that high is around for today. We ended out the day with that high around 56 degrees, well below that average mark of 72, but nowhere near that high temperature of that record high temperature of, I think it was like 72 degrees was the high temperature. But looking across Stoke Campbell Stadium, we have a nice sunset ending out the day. We actually did have a halo ring around the sun just earlier, but it is starting to die off. You can just see a little bit of that sundog heading out the day at around 6:05 p.m. But beautiful view looking at Stoke Campbell Stadium. 53 degrees, it feels fairly chilly outside, but with these mostly cloudy skies, it actually looks fairly clear out across the region. We have this northwesterly wind with that high pressure system bringing in a lot cooler temperatures for us. 50 degrees, 50s across the map. Fairly clear across the Big Bend region as well, 54 degrees in Quincy currently. With this northerly wind, it is bringing in some cooler conditions, a little bit windier at times for most of the region. We're at 10 to 17 miles per hour across the region. So with these higher winds, it is bringing a little bit cooler temperatures. When we head into tonight, we do have a freeze warning in effect, so wind chills actually will be felt a little bit cooler as well. Dew points are very low, so when you walk outside, it is very dry, and the muggy meter is indicating that happy faces across the area, so very little humidity. So when you walk outside, it does feel a little bit drier than what we've seen for the past few days and few weeks as well. The radar indicating not a lot of cloud cover across the region. We are very dry across the area, so no rain chances in sight heading into tonight. In the bigger picture, when we look out into the southeast, this high pressure system will start to move into the southeast, bringing us a lot drier conditions for the region, so we won't have any rain chances heading throughout the next few days. Tonight's forecast, it's going to be a chilly one. We do have freeze warnings in effect for the Big Bend region. 30s along the map, lower 30s. Wind chills may actually be lower than this if we keep up this northwesterly wind. 29 degrees for Thomasville, as well as 30 degrees for Bainbridge, and 33 degrees in Apalachicola. Looking at the winter weather advisories, we do have a freeze warning in effect for areas of the Big Bend, including Gadsden, Leon, and Wakulla County. So if you are heading into tonight, we do have chilly temperatures. Bring those pets in. They don't really want to sit down in these colder temperatures heading into tonight. Looking at your 7-day forecast, very dry conditions Wednesday through Saturday. Next rain chances aren't until this weekend with that 50% chance of rain for Sunday. Temperature-wise, we're going to start heating back up into the upper 70s into the weekend, so it should be a fairly nice weekend other than that 50% chance of rain. I'm going to pass things off to Sammy with a look at the southeast.
All right, thank you so much, Jennifer. So we are very chilly throughout the majority of the southeast. Looking at Atlanta, 41 degrees. They're starting to get cold for the remainder of the night. You can see that moisture making Tampa a little bit warmer with 56 degrees. We do have this clockwise rotation. That is where that high pressure system is. In result, we are getting these higher winds, 14 miles per hour in Tallahassee, Montgomery. So pretty much all around the southeast, you can see we are feeling these nice winds right now, making it feel very chilly outside. The dew point, all this brown is indicating that it is very dry out with those temperatures of 28 degrees, 10 over in Atlanta, 7 for Little Rock. That is very dry. While you can see that that front that is moving through near Orlando, Tampa area, the green means that moisture. So they are actually having a little bit of precipitation through that area right now. Zooming into the Miami region, you can see where that little bit of rain has been moving through the area and off into the Atlantic. For the next 24 hours, we are expecting to be mostly clear, maybe a few clouds that pass through the region, pretty much through the southeast, so expect lots of sun throughout the area. Our main concern is actually this freeze warning dominating throughout the majority of the southeast, pretty much looking all through Georgia and northern Florida, while we have a wind chill advisory near Tampa. Tonight's forecast, expect Tallahassee into the 30s. That is that freeze warning when you are below 32 degrees. So a little bit past, kind of near the Gainesville region and up, you could expect to have a freeze warning for tonight. Looking at Montgomery with 27 degrees, Shreveport 27, very chilly temperatures. It will be a fairly clear night, but we can roll out a few clouds within our region. For tomorrow's forecast, expect lots of sun throughout our areas, 57 degrees for Tallahassee. While going into South Florida, you can see 62 degrees for Tampa, while the northern half, looking at Atlanta, 47 degrees for the high of tomorrow. Now we're going to bring it back to the desk with AJ and Jennifer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got a new mic. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Going to have a smooth rest of the show after that little debacle to start off the show.
You sound like a brand new person.
Yeah, right? I feel all excited. I got my new mic and whatnot.
Now,
go ahead. Sorry.
So as we get onto the desk, so we were actually, we have these colder temperatures here in the Big Bend region, but other areas are actually experiencing extreme winter weather.
Yeah, and I mean, over the weekend, while we were here covering all the tornado outbreaks in the southeastern part of the United States, those up in the northeastern part of the country were seeing a pretty hefty snowstorm. I mean, we had New York City schools were closed, Boston City schools were closed, New Jersey declared a state of emergency. So it was definitely a big snowstorm for the northeast that kind of got overshadowed by those tornadoes.
Yeah, and we'd have a lot colder temperatures in those areas as well, and a lot of lake effect snow occurring right now in portions of the Great Lakes. So with these Great Lakes regions, they're once again seeing a lot of snow in these areas, and temperatures are fairly chilly. Not as chilly as what we saw in January, but
yeah, I mean, we still have much colder air making its way down into the Great Lakes region. They're seeing temperatures once again in the negatives for overnight temperatures. Temperatures getting down into -10, -15 degrees for overnight temperatures for the next couple of nights. I know here in Tallahassee, we're seeing much lower than average temperatures, so kind of getting that one last hurrah. Winter's kind of just saying, I'm not leaving quite yet. So,
and I know some areas of Boston actually saw over a foot of snow in some areas, and even areas of New Hampshire, they couldn't really leave their houses today because the snow was piling up.
Yeah, so we'll definitely continue to enjoy this cooler weather. I mean, I'm from up north, so I'm definitely a cold weather snow bunny kind of person. So I'm really enjoying these colder temperatures here in Tallahassee. I know you're from South Florida. How do you feel about those?
You know, the colder temperatures, I enjoy it. I go to New England all the time, so I'm a big fan of the chillier weather. But I'm actually going to give a look at what's going on across the nation right now. Like we were talking about, very cold temperatures across the northern half of the country and most of the country as well. 22 degrees for Bismarck, North Dakota, 15 degrees in Minneapolis. We're actually looking at some chillier temperatures in the southeast as well. 41 degrees in Atlanta, with that 51 degrees in Salt Lake City as well. Dew points are very low across most of the country. That is why it is so dry across the center portion of the country. There is a high pressure in place, giving a lot lower dew points. Our only moist spot across the region is in the South Florida area with that 65-degree dew point for Miami. They actually saw some showers moving in across the region. Some upper-level moisture in areas of the west. They're seeing some cloud cover as well as precipitation in those areas. And more towards the east with that high-pressure system, it is bringing a lot drier conditions across the southeast, and portions of the northeast actually still experiencing some cloud cover in those areas. So as we look off towards the west, there is a low pressure system located just on the western coast of the country, providing a lot of moisture into these areas and a lot of snow for the upper level regions as well, but a lot of rain for these areas that have already experienced a lot of rain heading into this time of the year. High pressure located in the eastern portion of the country as that stationary front does make its way off into the Atlantic. We did see some rain showers occurring off the coast of Miami right now, and just a few showers moving in through central Florida, but this will start to push off and bring drier conditions for this area as we head on into tonight, and even some winter weather advisories as we head into tonight. We do have a freeze warning in effect for some Gulf Coast states, as well as a wind chill advisory dipping down all the way into the Tampa Bay area and central Florida as well. So chillier temperatures across portions of the southeast. Some lake effect snow occurring across the Great Lakes region. This is typical for this time of the year. They do have winter weather advisories in these areas as well as a winter storm warning, as well as winter weather advisories as a result of those lake effect snow. Off towards the west, a lot of rain in portions of California. These areas have already seen a lot of rain into this time of the year, so this is a pretty significant event because of all this moisture. It just accumulates, and mudslides are occurring in some of these areas as well. Snow in the upper regions into the mountain areas of California as well. Looking at the bigger picture, winter weather advisories in some portions of the western coast of the United States, as well as some winter storm warnings across across portions of the mountain regions, as well as heading on to the mountain areas of the Rockies too. Tonight's forecast, very chilly across portions of the northern United States. -2 degrees in Bismarck, North Dakota expected for tonight. Some rain and snow showers across portions of the western United States. 43 degrees for Salt Lake City, as well as 54 degrees for San Francisco. In the southeast, it's going to be a chilly one for most areas. We do have a freeze warning in effect for portions of the southeast, and even wind chill advisories down into the Tampa area. 42 degrees for Tampa tonight. 9 degrees for Chicago. It's going to be another chilly one for them. 22 degrees for Washington. Tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be a clear one for portions of the eastern coast of the United States. 34 degrees for Washington, D.C. with only partly cloudy skies. And down into the southeast, another sunny day. 57 degrees here in Tallahassee and 62 degrees for Tampa. Off to AJ with a look at the local.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at our sunset cam here. Looks like it's going to be a gorgeous sunset for us here in Tallahassee. Got a few contrails from the jets that are moving through over the area. You can see the sun starting to make its way down just over Doak Campbell Stadium for us here in Tallahassee. Currently around the region, temperatures are on the chillier side, 53 degrees, mostly clear skies. Just those few upper level clouds, not expecting any precipitation for the evening and into the rest of the week ahead. Around the region, temperatures pretty uniform in the low to middle 50s across much of the Big Bend region. Tallahassee here currently at 53 degrees. Thomasville and Quincy both sitting at 52 degrees, a little bit warmer down by the coast with Perry at 55 and Apalachicola at 53. And now bringing in all that colder air is this northerly flow that we're seeing. Pretty gusty conditions outside right now. I know that I did definitely feel the wind on my chapped lips when I was walking to class this morning. Those 14-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the north for us here in Tallahassee, 16-degree-mile-per-hour winds in Bainbridge and Thomasville. That's what's bringing in all this drier, colder Arctic air into our region, keeping our temperatures on the cooler side with the much drier dew points as well. So if you put your chapstick away expecting winter was going to be over, you're going to have to pull it back out for the next couple of days because we're expecting these drier and colder conditions to continue throughout the remainder of the work week. Your satellite radar here, mostly clear skies, not really any precipitation to deal with whatsoever, just a very few upper level clouds, some fair weather cirrus clouds still sticking around through the viewing area here for us in Tallahassee. But if I zoom on out here, we attribute all that clear skies to this high pressure system currently situated over the top of the United States. Here's that low pressure system that brought us all the severe weather throughout the weekend, moving just off into the Atlantic Ocean, still sticking around through parts of South Florida, and that's why they're seeing some of those showers that they saw earlier. It's going to be an absolutely perfect night if you want to head out and take a look at some of the stars outside. It's going to be a beautiful night for your stargazing. Sunset will occur just about 10 minutes after our broadcast here at FSU Weather is complete. Temperatures will be on the colder side, so if you're heading out and about tonight, make sure to look up in the sky because you're going to be able to see just about every star in our solar system tonight. We do have some winter weather advisories throughout much of Tallahassee. This is going to be a big theme of our show tonight. Looking at a freeze warning, going to be our first freeze in about just about a month and a half here in Tallahassee. So we really haven't experienced some seriously cold temperatures for much of the winter and even for pretty much the entire month of February. Your 4FSU 7-day forecast here has 56 degrees for your Wednesday, so that's about 15 degrees colder than what we're used to seeing this time of year. And then you see that 31 degrees, or 33 degrees, excuse me, for your overnight low on into Wednesday morning. And then as we get into the weekend, our rain chances will increase, so that's definitely something we'll continue to keep an eye on. So now I'm going to pass things off to Jennifer and Sammy, who are going to give us another recap of the tornadoes that we saw over the weekend here locally.
Thank you, AJ. And yes, we were covering severe weather occurring all throughout the weekend. This past weekend, I know we were covering things in the southeast. Actually, more than 20 people lost their lives as a result of a tornado in Alabama. So our thoughts go out to those people who were affected by those. And we also here in Tallahassee did have a few tornado warnings popping up. We were covering them live here at FSU Weather Sunday night. And so we had one that actually, we had a tornado warning that affected the FSU campus, but there was a second tornado warning that occurred just in the east of Leon County, and that was actually a confirmed EF3 tornado.
So National Weather Service actually confirmed it later last night that it did reach EF3. So it was 136 to 165 miles per hour. That is EF3.
That's an EF3 scale. The estimated winds that the National Weather Service recorded was 140 miles per hour for the storm, and it did touch down for about 6.5 miles.
Yeah, so it actually had 700 yards of width. So it's a
pretty decent size.
I mean, it stretched through 6.5 miles. That's a decent amount of
an
time
EF3.
on the ground.
Yes, there were a few reported damages to structures and buildings, including 2 homes destroyed by it, and exterior walls of some of the homes collapsed, as well as some of the debris was actually blown well off the foundation of some of these homes. So the tornado did lift up just to the north of Willie Road, which is in Jefferson County.
So yeah, it actually did start on US 90. So
Yes.
parts of that road were closed, but fortunately there were no fatalities.
No.
But for now,
Yeah, we're going to send things over to AJ. He's going to give us a look at what's happening around Florida.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys what's going on around the Sunshine State, and I can definitely see why it got its name for that today. Plenty of sunshine to be had throughout the entirety of the state, but along with that sunshine, some much colder temperatures throughout the northern half of the state. You can really see that well-defined front right here. Those of you in West Palm Beach seeing temperatures in the low 70s, whereas those of you in Orlando barely getting into the upper 50s for currently, and this is about 6:30 p.m. tonight. Our winds are coming straight out of the north. That's what's bringing in all that colder air, and you can see barely off to the screen there, you can see those converging winds, and that is what indicates that front that moved through, bringing some rain to South Florida earlier in the afternoon. Now, if we get into our dew points here, you can see much muggier conditions through the southern half of the state, but then as we get up into the panhandle, much drier conditions. We're expecting those drier conditions to continue throughout the week and into the weekend before our next rain chance arises. Now, your muggy meter, I know all you out there love your emojis. So here in Tallahassee, very comfortable, very dry, but very comfortable. But then as we get into the southern half of the state, starts to get a little more muggy. We're not seeing any dew points into the 70s, which is where it just gets unbearable to go outside, but still seeing some dew points into the mid to upper 60s throughout the southern half of the state. And now your satellite radar here. This big high pressure system is really going to dominate our entire week's worth of forecast. And then as we get into the later part of the week, this low pressure system is something that we here in the FSU Weather Center will continue to keep an eye on, because that's what's really going to bring us our next chance for some significant rainfall as we get into the weekend ahead. Now, if I zoom on into South Florida, you can see here those lines of showers that moved through the region earlier in the afternoon, but looks like they're starting to clear out, and we're expecting things to remain mostly clear throughout the evening hours for those of you in South Florida. Moving on up into the central part of the state, mostly clear skies, just a few showers offshore here, starting to move into the Gainesville area along Interstate 75. But we're expecting some pretty nice conditions throughout the evening hours. And then you can see here on your future cast, all that rain and all those clouds move out of the region. As we get into your Wednesday, it's going to be the Sunshine State. We're really going to earn our name once again tomorrow. Expecting conditions here in Tallahassee to be very similar to what we saw today. For tonight, we've been talking about it all show. We've got that freeze warning here in Tallahassee. Much colder temperatures throughout the central part of the state as well. Orlando, 41 degrees. They're not used to temperatures like that. And due to all these colder temperatures, you can see here we've got some winter weather advisory, something that we're not used to seeing in March here in Florida. And as I said, tomorrow throughout the state, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous for the entire state of Florida for tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to send things off to Sammy with our final local forecast.
Look at that sunset. It is beautiful out right now. The sun is shining here at Florida State. Now, we did hit a high around 56 degrees. That's quite below the average of around 72, and we're expecting pretty similar conditions for tomorrow as well. Right now, 53 degrees. It is mostly cloudy out through our region. Looking further south into Perry, 53 degrees near Apalachicola too. So the sun is shining here on the Big Bend. We do have light winds coming from the northwest. Now, you can actually feel that with that 14 miles per hour here in Tallahassee, making it feel a little bit chilly here. And over in Monticello, 17 miles per hour. So same story. You do feel that wind coming through our area. Now, our satellite and radar is showing just a little bit of cloud coverage to the south of us over part of the Gulf. Now, we do have this high pressure system, though, that's going to bring us clear skies for about the next 2 days before this low pressure system comes through our area, and we'll see how much rain that brings us when that time becomes closer. Tonight, 31 degrees. There is a freeze warning because it is dropping below 32 degrees, so expect these colder temperatures through early morning. Now, this is throughout the majority of our region, and even going south near Gainesville for the remainder of the night. For your day planner tomorrow, warming from 8 a.m., 34 degrees. It will be very chilly in the morning. Make sure you pack those layers. 47 by noon and 55 by 4 p.m. So it will warm up to about what it is right now. 56 degrees for Wednesday, getting warmer on Thursday, 64, 73 for Friday. Now, what you can take note of, though, is those cooler temperatures in the mornings, 30s and even into the 40s by Friday morning. Our next chance of rain is pretty much on a Sunday with those warmer temperatures in the 70s once again. But for now, I'm going to pass things off to AJ, and I are actually going to take a look at our closing desk. Now, what do you think about that 7-day, AJ?
Yeah, Sammy, I know you're from the north and I'm from the north as well. So what do you prefer? Do you prefer those colder temperatures with the drier dew points? Or do you prefer temperatures in the 70s and the 80s, but it's kind of just muggy and you start sweating when you walk outside? Which one do you prefer?
You know, that's a good question because I do love the warmth. I love the sun here, but I also do miss the cold.
See, I'm the same way. I'm kind of just like, I kind of went like a solid mixture of both, and that's exactly what we're going to get on this 7-day forecast here. I mean, tomorrow, we're going to be 15 degrees below average for this time of year, whereas last week at this time, we were 15 to 20 degrees above average for this time of year. So we're kind of getting all 4 seasons in like the stretch of a week.
Yeah, it's quite a difference. I mean, lots of thunderstorms this
Yeah.
weekend, bringing lots of clear skies here for Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, and I mean, I've said it a bunch on the show, but the 31 degrees for our overnight low tonight and then 33 once again tomorrow, we really haven't seen cold temperatures like this in over a month here in Tallahassee. So make sure to bring your plants inside, make sure to bring your pets inside as well. Keep some running water so your pipes don't freeze up over the night, because you might have to turn your heater on one last time for the overnight hours tonight, but then after we get through this last little cold stretch, it looks like it's going to be our winter's last hurrah.
That's what I'm hoping. Hopefully no one has planted anything yet. I mean, we did have that warm spur, but now we're back into the chillier temperatures. So hopefully March will bring us warmer temperatures after this week.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at Friday looks like, it looks like the absolute perfect day. I mean, low overnight temperatures, which indicate it's going to be dry.
Yes.
So we're not going to have to deal with any humidity. But then throughout the day, temperatures climbing up into the mid 70s. So if you're making plans to do anything outside, Friday and Saturday are looking like it's just going to be absolutely perfect.
Gorgeous.
Perfect time to soak up the sun outside here in Tallahassee.
But yeah, looking at the mornings, it's going to be very chilly outside, so make sure if you are going for walks, running in the morning, it will be very cold. But hey, follow us on Twitter for more updates.
Yeah, we are going to become a lot more active on social media here at FSU Weather, so make sure to like us on Facebook as well.
And watch us live Monday through Friday on YouTube.
And we also do go live for some severe weather coverage like we did over the weekend as those severe weather and tornado warnings arose here in Tallahassee. So if you sign up for our notifications, you will get notified when we do go live, which we're going to plan on doing for some more severe weather events.
But for now, I'm student meteorologist Sammy Squires.
And I'm student meteorologist AJ Willie. Have a great night, Tallahassee.